Let's progress this a little bit further now. We'll start building some hard construction elements, and I think I'll start with some concrete footings. So I'll have a look at the ground floor plan, pop-up navigator, open up the ground floor plan. Might just tidy up any guidelines that you might have. I'll just go up to View, Guideline Options, Remove All Guidelines. It cleans that up. I might change the layer state to turn off this image in the background. It'll be a bit easier to work with now. We don't need the image, so you can drop down your layer control down the bottom, and I think the plan site is a good layer combination. So yeah, that's a bit tidier. Now we're going to put some pad footings in. Mainly their purpose is to support the concrete tilt-up walls. And I'm thinking a 12 metre length of wall, we're probably going to want another footing in the middle and a split wall panel in the middle. So we need another grid line in the middle here. So I'll copy this grid line and just click on it again to activate the pet tool. Make sure the pet tool is in drag, and drag with your control key, tap and release your control key, option key in Mac, and I want a distance of 6,000. And that gives me another grid line. I need to renumber them now, of course. The top one now is going to become Y4, so I'll number it from the top down, so it'll be Y4, Y3, and this one changes to Y2. So select it, and you can change it up in the options at the top. Just put in the appropriate text, select the next one down. Okay. So the grid lines are sorted out again, and so what we'll do is we're at the ground floor level, so we'll place some concrete slab. We'll place a slab for the concrete footings. So the slab tool is over here, but we might set up a layer before we do that. So either Control L or down the bottom here, you've got your layer settings. It'd be Command L if it was in a Mac environment. So I might click New Layer and create a new layer called Footings. OK to that. And then we'll use the slab tool. So we'll use the slab tool, change the layer to Footings. It's turned on at the moment, so that's good. We'll use a geometry method. Will be rectangular. Our reference plane we'll make at the top. Well, okay, we're going to change the structure in a minute, so probably reference plane location top would be fine. And the structure at the moment seems to be on a composite structure. I want you to click on that button there and change it to a simple structure, a basic structure. And that basic structure is just going to have a material of concrete structural. Sounds appropriate. Now, we're measuring to the top of the footing, so we want that measurement from the level to the top of the footing to be -200, because I want that to come down to our basic platform level, and then the thickness of the footing is 900 thick. So we're measuring to the top reference plane from ground floor in the negative direction 200, and then the thickness of the structure is 900. So that sounds right. So we want a 900 by 900 footing as a guess, but this will be designed by the structural engineering consultant. So I think probably the easiest way of doing that is just to place it from this corner to start with, and type 900 and then tab key to lock that in, then 900 again, and press enter, and you've got a 900 by 900 pad footing. But I want to go back to the arrow tool and move that from this middle tick across to there, and then move it again from that middle tick down to there. The end result is I wanted a pad footing centrally on the grid lines. So we'll just double check that that's worked in either 3D or a section. I'll try a 3D view for starters. It doesn't show, okay, the topography's sitting over the top of it at the moment, so I don't want to turn the topography off. So let's go and have a look at section view, which we can't see our sections at the moment, so I might go back to our layer, show and unlock all. So I've gone back to show and unlock all. We'll go to the, rather than move the section, we'll just have a look at it in the elevation view. So that's south elevation view. So that while we're here, we'll go back and plan site for the layers. And we'll drop down the pop-up navigator and double click on the south elevation. Okay, so here we still can't see, so I might just temporarily select the site mesh, right click, layer, hide layer. Okay, I can't, okay, and probably the footing layer has been turned off is the issue, so we'll go to our layer control and look for our footings. There it is, it's turned off, and if I click the eyeball to turn it back on, there's that footing. And if I just measure, see if it got the result that I'm after, from the ground floor, measured to the top of the footing, is 200, which is what I wanted. So that's all very good. I might just go back and set the layers back to show and unlock all, and then go back to double click on ground, or go back to ground floors. In changing the layers now, I seem to, in changing the views, I seem to have reset the layers again. So just so that I can see that layer again, I'll go back to my layer control, or control L, and turn footings on again. And now I can see my footings, so I can start copying that ground. I'll copy it from that point. I'll copy it from maybe this intersection point here, with drag activated, but press and release your control key or option key so you get a copy, and then we can start copying this around. And this is the arrangement that I want, from Y1, Y2 and Y3 for the moment, and then we can shift select all of these so we get all three of them at once. And then we can copy from this intersection point here, so it'll be your control key to copy them through there, and then we'll then copy them across all the way through to X6. So each time after I select my point and start dragging, press and release your control key, option key in Mac, and copy these across. Okay, so we've now laid out our footings. So the next thing that I might do is set up the concrete tilt-up walls as a starting point. I might just save the video at that point, and we'll start a new video where we'll save the concrete tilt-up, where we'll start drawing the concrete tilt-up walls.